Where's the bad guy saloon?
You just go straight to the western town, take a right and a left, and you see it right there.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah, that's better. Number 2.
After Rick tears himself away from his own reflection in the window and the reflections about his career in his head, he spots Caleb's commandeered saloon, the Gilded Lily, out of which his character runs his murderous gang of rustlers. Sitting next to his empty director's chair on the wooden walkway directly in front of the swinging saloon doors is the little girl dressed in the period clothes he saw talking to Sam when he first arrived. He doesn't know her real name and can't remember her character's name, but she plays Murdoch Lancer's 8-year-old daughter. She doesn't raise her eyes from the book she's reading when he walks up to the saloon's front porch steps. Not even after he clears his throat and says, "Hello?"
Hello.
Oh boy, he thinks.
Hello.
This little bitch is gonna be a pip.
Hello.
Holding up the Western paperback in his hand, he asks her,
Bother you if I sat next to you and read my book, too?
She looks at him poker-faced.
I don't know. Would you bother me?
I'll try not to.
That was pretty clever, Rick thinks.
Sit.
He heads to his director's chair, climbs himself backward into the seat, making the slight moaning sound he always makes when he climbs himself backward. She ignores him. He then removes his fucked-up pack of cigarettes from his black Levi's pants pocket, takes one from the sweaty, crumpled pack, and sticks it in his mouth underneath the horsetail glued to his upper lip. He slams the lid of the Zippo closed with what looks like a diagonal karate chop. She ignores him. The exhale triggers a coughing fit, which causes him to cough up another one of his green mixed with crimson loogies. That she doesn't ignore.
You don't eat lunch?
I've got a scene after lunch.
Yeah?
Now he finally gets her attention.
Eating lunch before I do a scene makes me sluggish. I believe it's the job of an actor, and I say actor, not actress, because the word actress is nonsensical. It's the actor's job to avoid impediments to their performance. It's the actor's job to strive for 100% effectiveness. Naturally, we never succeed, but...
Rick just stares at her for a beat or two without saying anything, till he finally says,
Who are you?
You can call me Marabella.
She says.
Marabella what?
He asks.
Marabella Lancer.
No, come on. What's your real name?
Again, she answers in tutorial-like fashion.
I prefer to only be referred to by my character's name. It helps me invest in the reality of the story. I've tried it both ways, and I'm always just a tiny bit better when I don't break character. And if I can be a tiny bit better, I want to be.
Rick doesn't really have anything to say back to that.
You're the bad guy. Caleb Descartes.
And she pronounces the name like Jean Cocteau.
Thought it was pronounced Caleb Dakota.
I'm pretty sure it's Descartes.
She says like a know-it-all smarty pants.
Descartes. What do you read?
She excitedly bubbles.
It's a biography on Walt Disney.
Then she opines to her fellow actor.
He's a genius, you know. I mean a once in every 50 or 100 years kind of genius.
What are you, 12?
I'm 8. What are you reading?
He shrugs his shoulders and tells her.
Just a Western.
What does that mean? Is it good?
She inquires.
Pretty good.
She wants more.
What's the story?
He answers.
I haven't finished it yet.
Jeez. She thinks this guy is so literal.
What's the idea of the story?
Rick thinks about the story of this new book for a moment.
This guy who's a Bronco buster. It's a story of his life.
Rick's been reading pulp Western paperbacks since he was 12 years old. And ever since he became an actor, it's what he does in between takes and in his trailer, waiting for the second AD to summon him to set. He'll mix it up a little with a detective story, or a mystery, or World War II adventure, but the pulps he keeps returning to are the Westerns. He kind of now realizes that reading Western paperbacks is one of the most solitary activities that he partakes in.
More of his days in pain than he ever did before.
Jeepers, this sounds like a good novel.
He sort of concurs.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Where are you in it?
She asks.
About midway.
He answers.
What's happening to Easy Breezy now?
She asks. He's not the best anymore. In fact, far from it. And
he opens his mouth to say the word useless, but the only thing that comes out of his mouth is a loud sob. The sob catches Rick by surprise and gets Mirabella's attention. He opens his mouth and tries again to say,
slightly more useless each day.
He croaks out, followed by a stream of tears that leak out of his eyes and run down his hairy face. Oh, great, he thinks. Now I'm crying in front of children about my fucked up life. Holy shit, I've turned into my Uncle Dave.
It's okay, Caleb. It's okay. Sounds like a really sad book. Poor Easy Breezy. I'm practically crying and I haven't even read it.
He says under his breath.
About 15 years you'll be living it.
What?
He plasters a smile under his glued-on mustache and says,
Nothing, pumpkin puss. I'm just teasing you.
Then holding up his Western paperback, he proclaims,
You might be right about this book. I think it hits harder than I gave it credit for.
The little girl's eyes narrow.
I don't like names, like Pumpkin Puss. But since you're upset, we'll talk about that some other time.
He laughs slightly to himself at her reaction as she climbs back into her director's chair next to him.